We'll get things started. Thank you very much for everyone being here today. Tim, can you start us off, please? Thank you, Tim. I think the kid in the back stole the show on that one. Al, Sergeant Arms report, please.
Good morning, President Dean. Good morning, our friends on Zoom, our Rotarians. Can you hear me okay? All right. And Darcy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A warm welcome from our all our Rotarians in the Innisfil Rotary Cup to you. Thank you for joining us. You're going to be properly introduced in a few moments, but we really appreciate our guest speakers, so thank you for coming. So Anne in England, how are you doing over there? Everything okay? Good? Okay, good. And Barb just got back from Cuba, and everything okay with you, Barb? Our Rotarians sure get around. So I do want to say, I put out a note the other day, you know, for pitching the Appreciation Barbecue, for a long, many years, our Rotarians have done the cooking and the serving at the barbecue. And unfortunately, this year, we've got a little bit of a hitch with the health, Simcoe Board of Health. You have to have a food handler certificate. And I know all of you read this on the email, but I just wanted to mention this. I sent that email out, and within minutes, I had responses from numerous people who said they either had it and it might be expired, or they'd be willing to get it. So just to double check on that, it's a 6-hour course. It costs $25. If you take it, and you have a certificate, if you come and cook for pitchin', we will pay your $25 for you and say thank you very much. But I just want to say thank you to all the Rotarians who responded. Brent, I see you there this morning. Brent Thomas, our fire chief. Welcome, Brent. How's everything with you? Good? Okay.
Doing very well. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Oh, that's good. And Dean, I don't have very much more, but I know if I don't mention this, you're going to say, what's the matter with him? He always talks about it. So Matthews of the Leafs is at 58 goals. But the big thing is there's 9 games to go, I believe, and the Leafs have got a spot in the playoffs. So I'm not reserving my ticket for the parade for the cup yet, but you never know. And the Blue Jays got off to a good start. They didn't win last night, but they're doing okay. But I have to tell you, 2 weeks ago on Sunday night, I took my daughter and my granddaughter to the Leaf game, and there was about 3 or 4 seconds left in the game, and Matthews flicked the puck up in the air. There was an empty net, and as the puck came down the ice, getting closer and closer to the empty net, the seconds were ticking off, and I think there was something like 2 seconds left in the game, and it crossed the line. And of course, the place went wild. So it was wonderful to be there. So thank you, Dean. That's all I have this morning.
Thank you very much, Al. Going on to our guest, Marcy, for being here. Thank you for being here today. Jen, do we have an introduction for her?
Yes, thank you, President Dean. Sorry for the background howling. So Marcy Baldry is the Executive Director of Guitars to Kids. Marcy's background includes serving as a development officer, raising millions for our local charities. She is active at the board level with the Barrie Kempenfelt Rotary Club, and as well as another children's charity, Youth Reach. She is also a music nut. Please welcome Marcy.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I am missing my own Rotary meeting to be with you guys this morning, and many members of my club say good morning to all of you. So thanks for having me. And I was having some technical issues, so I've shared my presentation, and if we can load that up, I won't take up too much of your time, but appreciate the opportunity to share Guitars to Kids. It's a new not-for-profit in the Simcoe region, and it was started by myself and my partner Randy Parsons. It's all volunteer driven, and we saw a need really, and being fans of music and community, we were sitting around the kitchen island early in the pandemic thinking, what can we do for these kids that are isolated at home? And maybe it's a perfect time to put an instrument in their hands and let them learn how to play. Go to my, can I move it through? I don't know. Oh, here we are. So thank you. We are founded in 2020, and we are a non-profit organization. The difference between a non-profit and a registered charity is that we are not able to issue charitable tax receipts. For us, it's mostly equipment in and out. So it would cost us more to self-audit than we would probably have in our Guitars to Kids bank account. So we think that the community knows Randy and I well, and we're very transparent. So any of the donations that we do receive are used to purchase equipment like straps, tuners, cables. If we have enough money, then new guitars as well. So we are learning, and we come to the conclusion that we are best served kids age 10 and up. And the reason for that is the equipment that we get is suited to kids that age. I didn't appreciate the need for different sized instruments like my partner Randy is. He's an investment advisor by day and musician by night. So he told me giving a guitar that's too big to a child is like giving a kid adult hockey equipment. And once he described it to me that way, it made all the sense in the world. So 10 and up, and we've been fortunate. We have a volunteer-based community advisory committee, and we have teachers, social workers, and they've been helping us spread the word in the community. And just recently I reached out to Big Brothers Big Sisters, Gilda's, Canadian, CAMH. So some of the organizations in town that are serving children are helping us get applications through. So we are providing children with a new or used guitar. Every kid gets a guitar. If it's an electric guitar, they get an amplifier, all the cables, a tuner, strap, and a friend of ours provides online lessons as well. So we heard about an organization called Guitars for Kids in Toronto and Cambridge, and we reached out to them to say, we love what you're doing. We think that there's a need in our community. Can we start a chapter up here? And because they're a registered charity, that would have taken more work than needed, really. So they said, if you love it, you've got a name, go for it. So we did. And they've been very, very supportive in helping us with a few things that we needed assistance with in getting started. In our first year, we distributed more than 125 guitars. So that's a lot. And we had no idea, to be honest, what numbers made sense. But when we look at what they've done and what we've done, and really just kind of jumping into it, we're pretty happy with the impact that we've had already, and we just want to keep things moving along. So like I said, we accept donation of acoustic, electric, and bass guitars, amplifiers, and we've been lucky that we have a gentleman who's a retired carpenter who takes in all of our acoustics and gives them some TLC. It's been a real learning curve for him. He loves it. And quite honestly, I don't know what we would do without Marino, because he's a godsend. Like, he just reviews everything, and we get home on the case. He'll put painter's tape, and he writes notes on the year of the guitar, what he learned about it, the level of play that he thinks could be good for a recipient. So it's pretty cool. And then Jeff Gilbert of Gilbert's Guitars looks after all of our electric and bass guitars. So we've been lucky that with these partnerships, we know that the kids are getting a guitar that is playable and safe and ready to go. So in 2020, we're lucky that, as you guys know, we have great media partners in the region. And I reached out to our friends at Rock 95 and said, we're kicking off this initiative in town. And they said, we want to be a part of it. How can we help? And we thought, let's do a guitar drive and see what happens. So Paul Sadlin Jr. was right on board as well, and gave us access to the dealership. And again, this is early COVID, so we weren't really expecting a lot of people, and we had a 2-hour window, and we thought, if we get 6 instruments, we're going to be thrilled. And we had over 80 pieces collected that day. And to say it was overwhelming wouldn't be fair to the experience, because Rock 95 was there, and Craig, Kat, and Matt, like all the guys from the office, and we were overwhelmed. We had cars coming and going to bring everything back to our home, and people coming from all over the place and sharing stories about their instrument, when they got it, what it means to them. They were so excited to know, pardon me, to know that it was going to be put in the hands of a kid who was just like them back in the day and wanted to learn how to play. So that day created awareness. It let people know, you know, if they had that other instrument they weren't quite ready to let go of, they knew how to find us to set something up in the future. So that's my truck full of guitars coming home. And we had to borrow a truck from Junior as well to get other instruments home. And it took, I think, probably 6 trips from Sadlin home to get everything through our door. So we currently have 60 guitars in our house, and we would like to get that number down. So right now we're good for inventory. We just need more applications coming through. Like I touched upon, we do accept financial contributions. We were lucky yesterday. There was a gentleman that passed away up in Muskoka, and the family heard about our organization, and we've received a memorial donation in honor of this gentleman who was a music teacher and had a passion for music. So we're always happy when people do some research and find out about us. And every gift is a great gift, but it was certainly nice to see that come through. So Every donation that we do get will receive a letter of acknowledgement from us. And yeah, we're not able to issue charitable tax receipts. And how to apply. So if any of you have businesses, you can encourage your employees to just visit us at guitarstokids.com. We built a website, and we don't ask for financial information from the families. Our feeling is if they're asking, they're interested and they need it. They've taken the time to find us. So all we need to know is the child's name, their age, what type of instrument they would prefer, and if they have any experience at all. So we've got kind of beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So that way I do all the logistics, and my husband Randy does all the inventory. So he will match the application to the instrument so that we know we're giving them the best experience possible. And we have had kids that say, you know, I got an acoustic, but I'm not really interested in that. And we'll hook them up with an electric or a bass. We also ask if they're not going to use it, if they would donate it back, and we can give it to a child that does want to play. And here are some of our recipients. So this is Emily. She's in a church band up in Midland and was always borrowing equipment. So she was thrilled to receive her own guitar. And Matthew on the other side, he has a very cool looking acoustic. And I think we've got David on another slide. Yeah. So this young guy, he's 10, and I love that picture because it is pure joy. Like, he put that guitar in his hands and he was so excited. And this is a gentleman, Scott, from New Path in Cookstown. They have a live-in treatment center. And he was bringing in his own equipment from home every time they had a client that was interested in music. So we said, you know, I think we can help give you some equipment that will stay at the home. And then if your clients, once they go through your program, if they want their own guitar, then they can apply and we can set them up. So we've had that happen as well. And that's Randy and his son Jamie doing a delivery of some new equipment out to Scott. So that's really working well too. So we want to keep that relationship going as well. And, you know, we appreciate having this opportunity today because we are new. Not everyone knows about us. And you can help us by spreading the word. I know Barb's husband Warren found us and donated some guitars to us and has helped spread the word for Guitars to Kids. And yeah, we are on all the social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and our website. So if you wouldn't mind finding us and helping get the word out, we would greatly appreciate it. And I'm happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Thank you very much, Marcy. Tim, can I have my grid view back so I can see who's actually asking questions? And I believe Tim has a question.
Question and comment. So, Marcy, great program, loving it. I'm a longtime artist and musician, actor, love stuff. So I love the fact you're doing it and advocating more and more children to learn. I would actually ask, you could put a challenge out to some of your students that we're always looking for new O Canada versions for our hybrid meetings. So I would love it if some of your students or the recipients of the guitars or your friends who are learning from them to supply maybe things. Or another comment, somebody just passed my brain, is maybe throw challenges out to your students. So, because sometimes to a kid, they'll get a guitar and they'll play it a couple days and then it sits in the corner of their room and never gets touched again. Give them challenges. throw out, maybe like partner up with a print company to get little badges done. It's like, I learned blues today. I sat around a campfire and played my guitar today. I learned classical music. I learned rock. I played, death metal, whatever they want to, learn and inspire to learn new types of instruments, because we can never have too many guitarists in this area. So good for you. Awesome.
Well, thanks so much. And that's a great idea, actually. I will throw it out to the recipients because O Canada, I think, it would be a great way for them to showcase not only their pride, but their talents. So that's a good idea. We were hoping one day when the world allows and the kids feel comfortable enough to start maybe like a junior battle of the bands kind of thing with some of our recipients. So Randy brought Battle of the Bands to Barrie back in the day, 18 years ago. So, and it's a fundraiser that keeps going strong. So we're hoping we can integrate kind of a junior battle as part of that too. So stay tuned. There is more to come from our talented recipients, we hope.
Any other questions for Marcy? I don't see any other hands. Oh, yes, go ahead, Barb.
To mentor them, how does that work?
We can't hear the question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcy. Do you have anybody to mentor the kids to learn the basics of playing, or do they come to you already with basics, or how do you end up not having a clothes hanger in the corner?
So we are lucky that a friend of ours, Todd Porter, offers each recipient 10 online lessons for free. So when they get their guitar, they get a welcome letter, and within that they have a link to the online lessons, and all they need to do is register as soon as they receive the guitar, and then they can do the lessons at their own pace. So they can do them again. And then if they want to continue with that, they can work with Todd, or they're very, very resourceful. So there's a lot of things available online, but the beginning lessons with Todd certainly gives them a good jump start.
Marcy, I have a quick one. So you're talking about matching guitars to the size of the children. Is that just because you have a hard time getting 3/4 scale guitars in stock?
Yep. We did have a good mix at first, but supply chain was a real problem as well. Randy was purchasing some new guitars as well, but we couldn't get them. They weren't available, but things have kind of caught up now. So if we have a 10-year-old and they are smaller 10-year-old, then we will do the 3/4. But some of these teens are 6'2" and they're 12 years old. So we have to kind of delve a little deeper when we're learning a little bit about the recipients. And yeah, it's a process and we're still learning. And it's hard to ask a parent what is probably an odd question to be personal about their child's size, but there's a reason for the madness. So yeah.
And your donation is on your website for donations? Because my son's got a 3/4 scale that he's grown out of, and I need to get size.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we'd be happy to accept that guitar. And if we can put something else in his hands, that would work out well too.
Oh, never thought of it that way. But yes, I'll be in touch.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Oh, well, thank you very much, Marcy, for being here today. I know you was big missing your own meeting, but you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of ours and see how we work if you'd like, or if you want to catch the rest of yours, I understand that as well. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it. Have a great day, everyone.
Okay, we have a lot to go through today. So we will start with old business. Great Ontario Fishing Raffle. So for those online, our posters are in. For those in person, grab some, hand them out. Teresa has picked up the stack for me, and it looks like she's already had 3/4 of them around town. So whoever Teresa didn't get, hopefully we can still find. We have a couple larger posters, I think 8 movie-sized posters left as well, if you know an establishment that wants to have a larger poster in their building. Any questions about the Ontario Fishing Raffle? Yes, Barb.
Warren bought tickets the other night, but I did it for him. So it's super easy. The big thing is to make sure you tell all your friends you're promoting it with to pick Innisfil as their member. It doesn't say club, it says member. So when they're looking at member clubs, they should pick Innisfil, and that's really pivotal to us getting the revenue. They just pick the top one on the list, it's not going to come to us. So
It's weird. It says Innisfil -ISO blah 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 blah.
yeah,
It isn't really that clear. I wish it was,
but it's easy to do.
Yep.
And you can actually see, as if you go in, it shows how much money has been
Collected in total.
collected so far for the total draw, not for our club, but for the total draw. It's super easy. So it's actually easier than going and collecting money and so on and so on. So just as long as they have a credit card and know how to sign on a computer, they're fine.
Great. Thank you for the input, Barb. Moving on, donations to the Women and Children's Shelter. Whitney, do you have anything to add?
Nothing to add. Next week is the week. So if you're interested, please bring in school safe snacks for kids and gift cards if you're interested. They're also accepting gift cards to Loblaws, Walmart, any type of grocery store. So yep, that's it.
Thank you very much. So again, next week, school safe snacks for kids. Just remember, peanut free is the way they are hoping to go. Big reminder to everybody, still Troy Scott Fridge every week when you're in person, or if you can't make it to the meeting, if you can drop something by, it'd be greatly appreciated. Is it? I haven't opened the fridge today, so. Okay, for those who didn't hear, in the fridge here, there's carrots and bananas, and other than that, the fridge is empty. So if you could help out, Al.
I just wanted to mention, at the Y the other morning, I had an extra cabbage. I went, and it was totally empty. It's totally empty.
PEI potato campaign. So I wasn't in person last week, but I want to thank you everyone for stepping up on the date change, as I couldn't help gather the potatoes. The district has reached out. They are asking if we want to do more potatoes. I laughed, and I don't think we need to do that again. Unless anyone wants to reach out and let me know that if they are interested, we can do another order. It doesn't have to be as large as last time. Yeah, we could do that. We could check with the food bank. The promotional grants to help Rotary get noticed in the area. We've got a couple good things already that have been put forward and stealing the show. We have gotten things such as a peace poll. I don't know if that went out to everybody or not, but we can bring that up at the board meeting. Innisfil Cardinals are looking for a baseball sponsor. So a lot of great ideas so far.
What's that for again, Gene? I'm sorry.
This is for, sorry, Al, this is for the grant we have for getting Innisfil known. So we get $250 from the district if we spend up 250 ourselves. So it's five. If we spend 500, we get 200 back. So, but it's got to be used in getting Innisfil seen in the community.
I think this would be a good time for me to say something. So I have hearing aids, and when you have a mask on, I find it really difficult. I never realized how much I depended on seeing people's lips moving. And Dean, I've only heard half of what you said this morning, and I'm afraid that's what it's like for me the whole time. So just so you understand. So when
No, I
I keep
completely
on,
understand now.
when I keep on asking you what it's about, it's just because I can't hear you.
No problem.
Well, the Cardinal baseball team here in Innisfil, they're looking for sponsors, and it's $500 to sponsor a baseball team. And we'll have the Rotary emblem on the back of their t-shirt. So I think that's a great way to promote Rotary in the community. And maybe if they have a tournament or something, we can put the tent up there and make it a big thing for them. And it's $500.
Because they're not just one team, the Cardinals, they're actually the whole organization.
It's sponsor
No,
one
this is
team.
just one team.
Just one team?
Yeah, and it's $500 to
Oh,
sponsor
yeah.
them.
Well, we got to take it to the board,
Of course.
but we have a couple other good options as well. So
So President Dean and and Teresa, I'm not finding it at fault at all. However, we do have a proper way of doing all this. If a member has a request, they go to the board meeting, and there's a place there where members requests. And you would attend the board meeting, and you would have as much information as you can get about this. And then the,
So anyone can come to a board meeting. They don't have to be.
that's right, there's, that-
I wasn't aware of that at all.
okay, so that when the board meeting starts, one of the first things that's asked, do we have any members request? You would be there, and you hopefully you have all the information we need. The board would review it, look at it, and probably recommend that we take this to the club and let the club know so they can decide if they want to do it or not. So that's the proper way we
And we
do
don't
it.
even know when the board meetings are. And
Well,
we don't
there's-
get a link to it.
last Tuesday of every month. And Al, we brought this up just as an example. We have a couple different requests for using this fund. This was one of them. So at the board meeting, we'll go over all the other requests we have for it as well. Yes. Tim, you asked for a couple of minutes to talk about the website.
Okay, so there's been a request. Doug, I know that you were a big advocate for this. Thank you. Getting the website corrected. So a couple of things I've done is we are eliminating the old Innisfil Rotary it's org, I thought. No, it's for .ca. It's a CA. Yeah, so we're getting rid of that one because it hasn't been changed in years and really doesn't reflect the group as it stands today. So it's going to be going away. I've already reached out to the current people running that and saying goodbye. Apparently there's a balance owing we didn't even know about, so let it go. That's what Shane said. So at the PET training, the President Select training, I discovered more about what Club Runner is capable of doing when it comes to website development. So I had been building a whole brand new website in WordPress, which is a standard. But when I saw what Club Runner could do, I said, well, why are we spinning our wheels on this? Because we already have the technology, we already paid for the technology, and it directly interfaces with district and it directly interfaces with international. It's a no-brainer. So I've already begun making the modifications. If anybody wants to go either to our Club Runner site or to just type in Rotary Club of Innisfil.ca, it will redirect you to the new site. It's still a work in progress. There's more to come. I will need more people eventually to do content. I will be working, of course, with Barb and with Whitney, anybody who does all of our social media, so we can kind of coordinate efforts, make sure it's that we are a unified front in our advertising and our PR. So yeah, that's what I've got. And anybody has any questions or comments, ideas, please don't hesitate to throw it out there. Or if you want to be involved, definitely contact me. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tim. Next on the list, Onion Fest. I know we spoke about this briefly, that the board's decided to help out with that. Doug, was it next week we were meeting with them?
Yeah, so I've reached out. I've talked to Chris Reynolds Jr. just briefly, and we're going to try to get together sometime early to mid next week to have some face-to-face time and put together some details and final planning. I believe it's going to the town tonight at council. And so after that, everything's been dotted and crossed other than the health board, which so far has no issues. So everything's moving forward very nicely there. And I've also reached out to John, forget his last name, Lakeland. And he's the guy that did the Smart Serve certification for us last time. And I'm going to try to arrange a course for anybody that like to get their booze handling certificates.
That'll be Father's Day weekend. Thank you, Doug. Now, my next question to you was about the Smart Serve, but that sounds like it's in the works. Anyone have any questions or comments about the Onion Fest before moving on? No? Thank you. Doug, any updates on Ryla?
Yes, so I've got some interest. I'm going to reach out to those people to finalize yeses or nos. I've also actually had the vice principal of Nantyre call me back this week. Said schools have just been a gong show with teacher absences and such. And so they're very interested in helping support us on 3 different fronts. One of them is they're looking at putting me in touch with somebody who could help guide me through potential Ryla applications, which would probably be through their link crew type process. I've also reached out to them and talked to them about their Enviro Club in maybe helping us with some of our environmental stuff, i.e. pollinator gardens and the garden. And they've also are trying to link me up with one of their teachers who does tech development and support Tim and around our website development. So they've gotten back to me and I'm just reaching out to the individual instructors now.
Great. Thank you very much, Doug. Quick question, Doug. How many interested kids do we have so far?
I've got contact of 2, but I think there might be some more coming in. So I don't want to jump on the school thing too hard. But if there's anybody out there that knows anybody, please get their names to me this week because I want to wrap this up next week.
Great. Thank you very much, Doug. Allison, do you want to talk about your hike? I've got your stuff printed if your request, if you need it.
Oh. So we're moving along with the hike. I'm just dealing with the town. They've approved going ahead with it. Thank you to Whitney for starting to post information through the Rotary. I'm going to post on the community groups and we'll go from there. I'm hoping to get at least a few hike teams interested in going out of the Innisfil location. I know it's the first year and it's kind of late notice, but Teresa's offered to help. I guess I'm going to have to look into the food handling. I haven't read through the whole permit yet. I know there's no charge, but there's quite a lot of stipulations. So I'll have to see about the food handling. We may have a Matthews House food services volunteer who could be our certified person on site, but we'll see. So I'll keep you posted about volunteer needs, but we're moving along. So thank you.
That is May 1st.
Sorry.
From 9 to 5 at the trail. So the list I have here is they're looking for about 6 people, maybe 8, to help with the registration and everything. It's a great community event that Innisfil supporting, and I think it's great that we're helping get our name out there and that we were helping other community people as well. If you have any questions, reach out to me or Allison. She's provided me with everything here. Yeah, no, the town's kept me CC'd on every email, so I got your permit as well. Any questions about Matthew's House before I move on to Goodfellow? Nothing. Okay, thank you. Goodfellow Public School. So I have reached out to the vice principal. They are doing their walk on Wednesday, May 4th. Basically, they're going from a walk from the school down to the park, at the park having carrot sticks, a juice box, and then doing a walk back to the school. So the involvement with our train is the train is going to sit at the school. It's not going to go on public roads. It will stay at the school for photo ops. They plan to have a radio station there, as well as newspaper media. So the kindergartens and the grade ones will not be doing the walk. So they're asking for Rotarians to be at the school, one or two of us, and then at the park, maybe setting up a tent there to hand the kids their carrot sticks and the juice box. Again, it is during work week, so I know it'll be tough for a few of us to get out there. But again, I think it's a great opportunity for us to get out in the community, get the publicity through the papers and the media. I'm sure the radio stations will be putting our name out there as well. So yeah, we're probably looking for 2 to 4 volunteers for that. If you're interested, you can reach out. Yo, go ahead, Teresa.
This is for Chief Thomas. I came by the fire station yesterday. You were in the meeting, Chief, and I'm just wondering if you did get my message in regards to Goodfellows Parade.
Yes, I did. We're in the process of putting that through our internal process so that we've got a fire truck there for you.
Fabulous. Thank you. And you're going to contact Chris, the VP, as well.
That's correct. Yeah.
Randy Lynn has all the info. Thank you.
Sorry, what was the date for that, Teresa?
Not sure who has the cards for the mock-up, but we did it a long time. I don't think we put any of our tents up in 2 or 3 years. So we're gonna have to look into this and make sure everything's up to go.
One of the tents is actually struggling. One of the tents has some problems.
I think the only one with our logo on it is the big yellow one, right? The big white one, the one with the big metal poles. Yeah. Yes. So if you are interested in helping out at the Goodfellow School, please email me. I think it's fantastic. I am probably going to be taking the day off work to go. Yes, Wednesday, May 4th. I don't have times. I will get back to you on times, but I know there is 2 walks. It was in the other email. So there's 2 walks. There's doing one in the morning and then one in the other half of the kids in the afternoon. Yeah, no, if we can find 2 separate times, then we'll figure it out. I will confirm that with Chris, the VP, and get back to everyone on that. Any questions on Goodfellow Walk? May the 4th be with you. No, you really don't have to. Live long and prosper. All right, moving on to new business. I know you said a little bit in your thing this morning about Pitch and Day.
So just a follow up on what I said earlier. In the past, these when you have a permit from the town to do something, there's a section for the Simcoe County Board of Health. And in the past, we've always said, yes, our people are trained. Well, now with COVID, the Board of Health is saying, no, we need the names of the people who have trained, and we need their certificate number. So unfortunately, this has just popped up. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have some Rotarians. So we do have a couple who have it, but it might be expired. And we have a couple of people who said they'd be willing to get it. It is a 6-hour course, a $25 fee. And we can only hope we're going to have some people who have it. It's a requirement now that's going to be enforced by the Board of Health.
Do you know where to take the course, Al? Is it all online? If you speed through it, you can probably do it in 5. Oh,
There's about 10 different parts to this course. And when I had a look at it, I realized I can't take it, okay? But it is long and it's more regimented now. It's okay.
if anyone has the link or has looked into it, can you share it with the clubs? So Tim will share it with the club for those who are interested in taking the course. All right. We went through that list much faster than I anticipated. So I thought we'd be running overtime today. So we do have some time for some good news. Let's do a quick round. Tracy, I'll let you start.
Found out that Robert's bandmate, Mark, won the $1,000 early bird at RVH yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go online. Jed, you have some good news.
I'm just happy to be able to join remotely. COVID is going through my husband's workplace right now, so I don't want to bring anything in accidentally, but nice to see everyone.
Thank you, Jen. Doug.
Good morning. Got to spend the last couple of days in Charleston and just love the Civil War history and the Revolutionary War. And it's amazing to get out and see some of these incredible houses and architectures from over 200 years ago and just stand in the same spot that the Declaration of Independence was signed and things like that. It was a phenomenal experience. But alas, on our way home.
Thank you, Doug. Janet.
Good news is that we just got cited by the court for the landlord-tenant board. Very rarely do that ever happen, but we were able to have our renters evict, and they said the end of April, they have to be out of the house. So I was really happy about that because we were thinking this was going to be a long drawn out thing because it's been over almost a year now. So we're really happy about that.
Michael Duff.
Hey, good morning. Grateful to be here. And Al, I will take the course. I can't promise I'll pass it, though.
Thank you, Michael. John.
No great news other than planning on going to Florida next Saturday. So looking forward to that. Have a good week, everyone.
I think John talks about Florida every second week. Every time I talk to John, it's like, I hate snow, I'm going to Florida. I hate snow, let's talk Florida. Ed Smith, thank you for joining us from overseas.
Good afternoon. It's afternoon for me. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here for a few more days, and I have to tell you, nobody here in England wears masks. Nobody cares about COVID. It's very disconcerting. So I'm staying indoors as much as I can with the kids and not going anywhere except just outside in the garden with them. So anyway, see everybody in person next week. So everyone have a great Easter. Take care.
Thank you, Ann. Eleanor.
No good news. Just life is rattling on.
Thank you, Eleanor. Christine.
Good morning, everyone. I'm standing outside because my reception is awful today. So you'll hear the birds. I guess like spring is happening. Look in your garden every day because there's something new up. And I'm interested in the food handlers course. And I'm starting to think about composting worms, getting my population up. If anybody wants any for their compost bin or, yeah, I just let me know, and you get some in a Tim's cup and you can dump them in probably about beginning of May. They don't like to freeze. Thank you. Have a good week.
See, Christine, when I hear worms, I think fishing.
Well, you could put them in a little netting, put them on a hook, and they're only 3 inches long at best.
Barb.
Thank you, President Dean. My good news is the bad news starts with I broke my foot about 5 weeks ago. And yesterday I saw the doctor and my foot is free and I am able to walk on my own power again. And I got to drive my car to get here and I didn't have to have my husband bring me. So I know what it's going to be like if one of us loses a license or something. It's not going to be pretty at our house. So it's independence is a wonderful thing.
Thank you, Barb. Chief Thomas.
Morning, everyone. Just happy to be with the group. Glad to track with you. I've done my food handlers before. I know it's a long course, but it's well worth it, and I'm quite confident that you'll all succeed because it's good information. And then the quiz or celebration of knowledge portion is pretty easy once you've done the learning portion. So I'm quite confident that you'll do well. I'm fortunate enough to go to New Brunswick next week to pick my son up from university and bring him back home. So looking forward to a road trip, but I will miss you next week.
Thank you very much, Chief. Enjoy your trip.
Morning. Hey, spring is here. I got my lawn thatched and it's all fertilized. Got my golf tournament on its go, so we're all good.
Let me know.
Yeah, June 14th or June 10th, sorry.
Whitney.
Similar to Brent, Ryan and I are off to New Brunswick this weekend. I'm from the East Coast. Anyway, we're going for a wedding. This is our first time on a plane since 2019. Very excited. Ryan has never been to the East Coast, so he's looking for all the lobster and seafood he can find. So should be good.
The best lobsters in Shediac.
Yeah, we're not quite going there. We're going to Fredericton, but you know, Fredericton's great, so we'll have a good time.
Good luck and again, safe travels. Al.
So I just noticed a couple of minutes ago, it was teeming out here, raining like crazy. Yesterday in the afternoon, it was t-shirt weather. Janet, you're right. We've got snow coming. And so April is a crazy month. Don't take your snow tires off yet and wait till the end of the month because we're not finished with the snow. Michael Tuff. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Michael Tuff is going to pass. 1, 2, 3. Michael Tuff is going to pass. And just a quick note, Janet. So if you're looking for a place to rent, please don't rent from Janet because if you mess around, she'll evict you.
Just happy that spring is coming. I know the weather's terrible and actually really happy for you, Janet, because my husband and I went through something similar and it is an awful process. So that makes me happy. I still have PTSD from it. So yes. Oh, terrible, but I'm glad you're coming through it.
Jim.
Good morning again. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, on the weekend, we had the President's-elect training. So I got to meet a lot of the different PEs in our surrounding area, as well as all up 7010. So lots of people to coordinate with and you know, have some strategic partnerships. Yeah, so beyond that, I did my one speech with Toastmasters last week, went very well. It was a topic where actually I have to give a speech, get evaluation, and then rewrite it based on the evaluation. So it's a different kind of project. So it was already, I loved it. No, not toot my own horn, but I thought it was a good speech, but it's going to be even better. So once I've done it the second time, I will bring it to the club because it actually does fit into a lot of the stuff with mentorship and sharing of information. So I think it would actually be good for us. So thank you, and everybody have a great week.
Thank you, Tim. Jenna, did you want to do a learning corner?
Okay. There's 2 pages, but it's not being read all the way through. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of focus on was the fact that Rotary has 7 areas of focus, and I'm going to use those areas over the next 7 weeks just to highlight each one so that you understand what it is that we're doing. So the first one is peace building and conflict prevention. And what's really neat is we as Rotarians refuse to accept conflict as a way of life. Rotary projects provide training that fosters understanding and provides community with the skills to resolve conflicts. Today, over 70 million people are displaced as a result of conflict, violence, persecution, and human rights violations. Half of them are children, and we've seen this in the recent blitz on the Ukraine. So the 4 roles in promoting peace as practitioners are work fighting disease, providing clean water and sanitation, improving health of mothers and children, supporting education, and growing local communities directly builds the optimal conditions for peaceful societies. Educators, our Rotary Peace Centers have trained over 1,300 peace fellows to become effective catalysts for peace through careers in government education and international organizations. Mediators, our members have negotiated humanitarian ceasefires in areas of conflict to allow polio vaccinators to reach children who are at risk. And 4th is advocates. Our members have an integral role as respected, impartial participants during peace processes and in post-conflict reconstruction. We focus on creating communities and convening groups that are connected, inclusive, and resilient. And what's really cool is in the area of focus, they have staff that actually work with each one of those focuses. So for instance, Rebecca Kroll is the Peace Building and Conflict Prevention Manager, and there's an email address. Plus, she started in Rotary in 2006. So she has a long history of being as a Rotarian, but also has taken and stepped up in order to help with peace conflict. So that's your learning corner for today.
Thank
And
you.
also don't forget to sign up if you haven't already for the RLI, the Rotary Leadership Institute. It starts on the 23rd and hopefully you can attend.
That's section 1. Jeff, do we have a 50-50 winner?
You got it.
Oh, rigged. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for being here today, and we'll see you all next week.